Hello. In this video, I will teach you how to use Puzzle Brush to rapidly increase your rating. With my 3 key puzzle solving rules, we will ensure we improve our calculation abilities and our tactical vision. So what separates this video apart is I'm going to teach you how to choose the best moves by understanding and applying imbalances and general principles. We'll get a lot of practice today, so be prepared to learn a lot. This is day 3. We're going to try to get 40 with 0 mistakes. Only managed to get 32 today, but 57 all-time high. So thanks for giving me your time. Now let's put it to good use and begin. So I'm going to be explaining every move before I play. We're going to calculate before we actually move a piece. We're going to calculate to the end. So, you take with a knight or take with the queen? You can't take with the knight because it's pinned by the queen. So you take with the queen. 2 pieces attacking, 1 piece defending. Easy, winner material. So it's the mate in 1 because the knight defends that. Oh, we're in check. In a game, you're always supposed to look at your opponent's moves and threats before you look at your own. So that's a bummer. I missed that one move. This would be mate, except there's a rook here. This looks like an undefended knight, so, and it's also attacking our rook. I think we just take the knight. Yep. This is actually mate in 1, because we'll put the king in check. Nothing can attack this square to capture the bishop. So yeah, forcing moves, always look for checks first. Checks, captures, and threats. Because those are usually the best moves. This is another just mate in 1, because bishop defends the square. Queen goes there, king can't take, queen can't move anywhere, it's a check. Mate. Nice mate in 3. Nice pattern. I think we take with the knight. No, because then they go here. Wait, put them in check here. No, why does this not work? They're not checkmate, I guess. So I see 3 different checks, and that's most likely the correct move. It's one of those. It's not gonna be this one, right? Oh wait, this is just mate in 1, right? Yeah, because these 2 squares, this square especially, the king's escape square is covered by the bishop after the knight moves. I think it's like an X-ray attack there. Then when knight takes his pawn, it's check. So that's going to be mate in 1. Oh, I forgot to mention, I only got 32 today and I've never got above 30 on a video yet because I just do it too quickly. So that's a lesson for everybody to learn, is you really have to take your time with puzzles to get a high number. So this is going to be discovered check. They're threatening to promote, but this is actually mate, because this pawn here will attack the square because the pawns attack diagonally. So this will be covered by the pawn. And these 2 are going to be covered by the bishop. It's mate in 1. Discovered check. Oh no. I didn't fully calculate. The rook takes our bishop, but then we promote the pawn to a queen. And that's another mating pattern. It's always good to like go back as far as you can and just calculate as many half moves or plies as you can. Helps with visualization. And the principle is right. It worked out for us. Mate in 1 because the bishop covers the square. Okay, and mate in 2. Take this, but king escapes, but then queen takes this pawn. It's mate. Looks like to be a mate in 1. Rook covers these 3. Then queen covers everything else, defended by the pawn. Nice. This is rough looking one, because we need usually need a lot of pieces to have a like actual successful attack or checkmate. But I see now, this pawn here defends the square. Queen here is mate, because all of these squares are covered by the queen, and these 2 are covered by the opponent's own pieces. So nice mate in one pattern is very common. Could take this pawn. Surely there's something better, no? Maybe not. Well, actually, yeah. Knight. You always gotta look at every move. This is another check with the knight, and it also attacks the queen, so it's a fork. That's definitely going to be the best move, because nothing else we can do with our queen or rook better than winning a queen. Okay, this looks like mate in 2. It's because this queen is pinned to the king by our queen, so the queen can't move to capture any rooks, you know? So rook will go back, rook will take, but queen can't take because you'd put yourself in check. So nice mate in 2. Another tough looking one. Now if we can magically get a rook here and get rid of this rook, it'd be mate. This is a bishop here. Might help somehow. But this knight, this rook, we don't really want to move this rook probably because it covers these 3 squares. So what we need is these 2 squares covered. We need to check and to cover this square, and we can do that in one move if we could attack on this diagonal. And we just got the bishop here. Mate in 1, because nothing, mate in 2. The one piece can block and sacrifice. So that's how you calculate checkmate. You just look at the squares around the king that they can't go to. Oh, okay, it's actually mate in 3. Of course, I missed that too. Whatever. Nope. This is a hard one. I mean, I know we need to develop pieces in principle, attack the king. But where's the winning move? So we attack the bishop, I guess. The pawn. If pawn takes. Bishop back. Yeah. Then you push the pawn and fork the knight and the bishop. This is another pattern you actually remember. You recognize these patterns when you play puzzles a lot. You always know when there's a shape like this, there's 3 different pieces like this. You push a pawn and attack the first piece. After the first piece moves, you can push that pawn a second time, and then you'll fork these 2, so long as it's defended. Let's make sure that actually works, because there is a knight that attacks the square too. We'll say they do that. Pawn takes. Knight defends and rook defends. Only knight and bishop, so they can't take. Bishop back. And then only the bishop and the knight will... But only the rook would attack it then. Okay, so it doesn't quite work yet. But that has to be the right move, most likely. There's this pattern here. I just wonder, do I move this first and attack the bishop? Then it doesn't work. So maybe after this. Maybe go here first. And just, for some reason, if they didn't move. No, because that bishop doesn't cover this square, it only covers this square. What the heck? White, black. So they cannot take. So we've got the same number of defenders as attackers. Oh, okay, the knight. The knight attacks that square too, that's why it works. The knight and the rook attack that square, and the knight and the rook attack this square. What is that, like e5 here, e4 here? And knight and bishop attack. So pawn will be here, say, I don't know, bishop takes, rook takes. Would be possible. But it's not even winning though, is it? Come on, bro. Let's just try. I think we'll... Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Alright, pawn takes, bishop takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes. So yeah, we lose a rook and a pawn, but we get a bishop and a rook. A knight, not a rook. We lose a pawn and a knight, and we gain a bishop and a knight. Beautiful. But of course, they don't want to lose their bishop. Bishops are supposed to be better than knights. Really, in truth, it depends on the position and how you manipulate the position, the pawns and everything. But yeah, most of the time, better because the long range aspect. But if you can close it down the position, of course, then it's different. All right, this is a nice, another pattern. The river rook doesn't have time to attack our king if we go out in the relatively open spot here. Defend this pawn, and then the king will be stuck in here, and then all we have to do is rook check. So mate in 2. Oh, of course, the rook will block, but it's just, yeah, whatever, sacrifice. Now this has got to be a mate in 1, right? Yep. Let's go. Just put him in check, and then both the pawns. Take away the escape square there. Bishop covers that. Also covers this, doesn't it? So I can go here with the queen, and the king will be forced to go to one of those two. Put him in check with this pawn. That's definitely winning. I'm definitely not going to calculate all that, right? There's 2 different variations. I mean, it's possible to calculate, and we need to put in the effort if we want to improve, I suppose. So, I guess if it went right, it would be worse probably. 'Cause then, queen could just keep following downwards. Actually, so queen here. Oh, then that's mate. Yeah, because these pawns cover these 3. So they can't go right. So it's not too hard. It just takes some time, a little bit of effort. Say they go left. Then queen down, it's mate because it defended by the pawn. So yeah, simple main 2. Beautiful. And that's why I just ended on the first move because either way it's mate. I guess yeah. So this pawn defends the square. So queen here is mate in 1 because the rook blocks the getaway square. Nothing attacks this square either, right? You gotta check the diagonal, make sure there's no knights or anything. So obviously there's no rook. Does this actually do anything for us? No. But do we have anything better? Just push pawns. Yeah, I'm gonna get this one wrong, even though it's only level 21. Oh wait, do we just win the pawn actually? Is that it? They have to go here, forced, because they don't want to lose the rook. Maybe then we use the bishop. Say rook here, attack this pawn, fork the king and the pawn. Say king back. This is covered anyways. And either way, take this pawn. They take that. But if they go here, and I can't even check them, even if they went here, I still can check them. There's just nothing that's forcing or improves the position. So I'm just gonna have to do the first check I see, and then it's going to win a pawn, but I just feel like a pawn is not a lot for a puzzle, but what was it? We just gotta do it, right? Yep, okay. Oh, get lucky that it was only like move that seemed like it would actually be good, because there is a tactic. You deflect the king away from the defense of the rook with this pawn check. You remove the defender of the king, and then we capture the rook. It's way better than taking a pawn. Unfortunately, I didn't see it, but luckily we still managed to win the puzzle. So this is mate in 1. First check. All this will be covered by the queen. Nothing can block. Amazing. Another simple mate pattern. Queen sacrifices itself. This rook will cut off these 2 escape squares, so bishop check forces it to go over. Then it no longer defends this square, so the rook can go there, right? So sacrifice, check, move, mate in 3. Another simple pattern. This is called the ladder mate. Effectively, like when you move the rooks back and forth, This is the end position. You get the 2 rooks on the sides. This is smothered mate. So this is discovered check. Yeah. King's forced over. Sacrifice the queen. Defended by the knight. So the king can't take, but the rook is forced to take. And then our knight goes back here, and it's smothered mate, because nothing can capture the knight. And the king's in check, but it can't move because it's blocked in by 3 of its pieces. It's a beautiful little pattern there, main 3. It's actually pretty common too in games. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves to mate. And actually, they can't get mate, so I'll just go here. Like, if they go here, then I have to go here. If they go a6, I'm forced to go b8, because if they were here, then they're just going to get their pawn there. So you have to be careful. You can't just move over and over really fast, pre-move or anything. I think the idea is to go here, and then push this pawn. And if this goes forward, then this goes forward. Yeah, either way, one way or another, this is the correct move. So yeah, there's a big difference between going straight or capturing. If we don't capture it, then it's actually going to be able to go forward to threaten, right? So capture that. Interesting, but the king's way too far away to catch up, right? There's a pattern called like the box, right? So I think there's a 6x6 box. The king is outside of the box, so the king cannot capture the pawn in time, because it has to be on this diagonal. This diagonal 6 spaces long, and this straight line is 6 squares long. So as long as we keep moving this pawn forward, we're going to promote. But what's going to happen is they're going to be forced to capture with their pawn, and then we move one of the pawns forward. Yeah, so here. Wait, what? Yeah. So what? What am I miscalculating? Pawn forward, king. Do I need to move my king over here first? But then they might have time to promote themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can't let their king get over there, because then they're just gonna take both my pawns. It's gonna be a draw. Usually, you're not gonna have a draw on a puzzle, like especially this low. This has got to be the move. Oh, I could say so. Yeah, if you go straight, you're losing the puzzle, but if you capture diagonally, then you're winning still. Nice. Fortunately, I didn't see it again, but we calculated what was wrong. Process of elimination. So these 2 are covered by the rook. This would be bishop check. Let's see. Then they're forced to block with the pawn. Wait. No, that doesn't work. So then what? It's like, do we go down to the rook? Then this would be forced. Bishop. Then we go bishop check. So they go, wait, no. Oh no, we can't go here because the rook takes. But we can go here still. Check. That looks like mate too. No, wait, this is possible. But yeah, I love that the king kind of blocks this out. Well, if only the king was here, there'd be mate in 1, right? Because then the king couldn't go there. Well, yeah, not quite. If the king went up, then we discovered check. Rook attacks the king, then our bishop, after it being moved, we capture the rook. But yeah, I think this is going to be the first move. And then probably this would be the second move. So this is going to be forced, of course. And I think maybe knight check might finish him off, right? Because notice the pattern of the knight. So then the pawn will cover this square. Knight will cover this. Rook covers all these. Yep. So that is going to be a mate in 3. That's also going to be the thumbnail picture. Now, is there anything better than taking the rook? Nope, this goes over. But you know, if you see a good move, look for a better one. What was that? I think Lasker said that. Somebody famous. I'm happy where we're at right now, 27, 0 mistakes. Let's stick around for like 15 more minutes. Get some more practice at doing these puzzles. Should be very, very helpful. Like once you notice these patterns, like I've been saying, notice in your games, it's like the number one factor for improving. And there's a saying, 99% of chess is just tactics, especially true for lower rated games. You know, at Grandmasters, like 42% of the time. For 1800, it's like 70% of the time. But legit, like if you're a beginner, it's like over 90% of games are just tactical mistakes decide the game. So, but I usually don't want to make a video longer than like 20 minutes. I don't know how long this is going to go, but it's going to be worth it. I'm going to learn a lot. Oh, I love this. Yeah, it's like main 3. Obviously, they can't go up because this is mate. If the king goes right 1, because the pawn defends that. So, down, and then queen here still. But then this is covered by that pawn. This is covered by the queen. So, it's going to be mate. Mate in 3. Or main 2. Yeah, main 2, not main 3. Because you see this is covered by the pawn. And everything will also be covered by the queen, defended by that pawn. I see this, but then our rook would be undefended, so you gotta watch out for stuff like that. So actually, this nope, right? Knight covers that, rook covers that. This could end up being a difficult one. No, it's just rook takes. So the only thing defending the square is the king for black, but we have the queen defending it, so king can't take, or else it'll be in check. That's actually mate in 1, right? Because this rook is defended by the queen, covers this file. Queen covers this, the rook covers all this, so it's gonna be mate in 1. Nice pattern here again. I love these patterns. This is one where the knight's gonna jump over. So of course, it's like the pattern we saw in the last puzzle. This is going to be the only escape square. If the queen is here and the king is here and the queen is defended, that's forced. But then what we do is knight here, because you always want to bring in extra pieces into the attack. You don't want to use the same piece over and over. So then after that, this will be covered by the queen. This will be check. These are all covered by the queen. So this is going to be forced. And then since the knight is here, the knight will cover this square, and then the queen will go there. Oh, but it can't. Good thing I noticed that, because this queen is there. So what else would we do instead? Queen here, king here, knight here. Oh, wait. King over. I guess we could go like queen in the back rank. I don't like this. We should try to calculate before we move. Even though most likely we'll get it right anyway, just by principles. You can figure out the best move. Okay, let's think. So queen here, check. King over, knight check. King over, forced. Very forcing moves. Forcing moves are usually the best. Because they don't allow your opponent to do anything except react. So let's just, right? So this is impossible, we've said. Because the queen. Usually it would be possible. Because the knight. But let's just say instead we go here. Queen here. Queen D8. Check. King can go here. This is covered by the queen. Oh, that's mate, yeah, because this will be covered by the knight. So fortunately, you just gotta recognize you can't go here, but you can go here. Mate in main 3. Because first queen, then knight, as always, but then queen here instead of queen there. So yeah, that's gonna be main 3. Beautiful, made it to 30 with 0 mistakes. Might even make it like to 45. That'd be awesome. And those are puzzles that would be difficult. That's where we get to learn about imbalances and really get into the deep, difficult learning. So I see this check right here, first one I notice. I noticed these squares are covered by the rook and by the knight. This would be covered by the knight as well if this knight is here, which means this is forced. Can't quite fork the king and queen yet, but this move might still be some sort of might be checkmate eventually. This one might be a difficult one. I have to calculate. But if we just go here, then they could go back. Or do we just go rook here instead of knight? Okay, so knight. Wait, if they go down, then this is checkmate. Because the knight defends the rook. This knight would defend this rook here. The king will be here. The knight will be here, rook will be here. This is also covered by the knight, so that's mate. So say instead the king goes up, what would happen? So these are covered. Let's check. So king here. And then so boom, boom, boom. Let's say up instead. Rook here. Or do I use this knight? No, bishop. Or do I use this bishop? That looks good. Love that. Yep, so this is all covered. And as I should have known, all you need is the bishop check again, I think. Except then they'll escape here, but then even just rook here might be good, but then king goes here, I think. Okay, wait, so there's nothing better than this, right? Establish that. So this is that we could do this eventually, but first let's try to keep calculating. So we already know those are covered. We already know this is forced. And we know if king goes down, it's mate, but if king goes up, what if they could go anywhere here? That's why I'm thinking we need something better, like maybe after we move the bishop, then the bishop just block. Let's just do it. We have to do it. And maybe this. Let's move the knight. Okay, so that's what we expected. This might be better actually than. Yeah. I have a feeling this rook move is better than the bishop move. Because we'll be able to go here. So he's covered. Go there. Yeah, okay, I'm missing something because this is. I just have to get this on purpose. Because. There's just. I don't see it. I know if they go down, it's mate. So I just got to assume that if they go up, it'll also be some sort of powerful attack. Because the only other move it could be is this. Let's just refute that. Well, so we said this is going to be forced. Oh, okay. Yep. Bishop moves better, I think. Because rook here defended by the knight, that would be mate. So fortunately, I did not play hope chess. You just gotta look at the other forcing moves, look at the checks. We just calculated, this is correct. They block with bishop and pawn, but then the king goes down, rook goes down. What was it like here? Yeah. This is the first check I see. This. Then we're probably gonna move this bishop over. It's another common pattern. We got two different bishops covering all the squares. So this is covered by the knight. Yep. So the king can't run away. This will be covered by the bishop. So yep, just like I said, this is forced, and this is mate. And the block looks like it's gonna be what? Mate in 3. Bishop check, bishop check, bishop check. Boom, bing, bam. Very good progress today. I'm already improving, guys. And you just gotta watch, do these puzzles and games every day as well. One game of Puzzle Rush, one rapid game, minimum, an analyzer game, and also do like a coordinate trainer warm up along with your puzzle warm up before playing the game. I gotta make a better video about like the whole process. Maybe a longer video eventually. I just don't know. I just don't personally like watching long videos. I don't know if other people do, but queen check, pawn blocks, knight takes, and then we just win the rook. Very common pattern there. Okay, so there's a little variation. This time they're gonna attack our queen, but actually we do have a discovered check with our knight. That's gonna be mate. Yep. No matter where the king goes, the knight will be here defending the square, and the queen will go there with mate. Hope. I really don't get this wrong. So this is covered. Escape square covered. Yep. If here, if here's mate. Oh shit! Come on, man. There's no way after all that. Yes. Do I just take the bishop and then take the pawn? Come on, man. Let's see why that didn't work. Oh, just pawn takes. Bishop takes. Ah, yeah. So discover checks. They don't work if the king that's putting you in check can just be captured. That would work only if it's a double check. So I tried too much fanciness. Bummer. That's not even a hard puzzle. We can still get to 40, even though we made a mistake. So we did not accomplish our goal, but we can still get to 40. Okay, like this. So queen check, queen blocks. But then we take the defender of the queen, its bishop, with check. So it's very forcing. And they would have to go here because their queen is actually now pinned. So then after that, we just take their queen, I think. Yeah, we don't want to think, we want to know, right? So I have to block here because it's defended by the bishop. If they went there, we take. So queen check, queen block, knight takes, queen's pinned, so pawn takes, and queen takes. Yep. So how many moves is that? 1, 2, 3. I want to say 3. Oh my god. Second puzzle wrong, guys. This is what happens. Like, what is going on? Is this first? It's the move order sometimes. Because then after the queen takes, that's unfortunate. I should have considered more moves. So let's again try to figure out why our move was wrong. And maybe we first do it without the engine if we can. That's how you're supposed to analyze your games. And without moving the pieces, but eventually we can move the pieces. So this is gonna happen, right? Knight check. We take the queen. The king escapes. So you're winning a queen, but checkmate is better, isn't it? That's the reason. So what I saw was correct, but I failed to miss there's a better move. If you see a good move, look for a better one. Queen F8. Yeah, that works too. I didn't even consider that one. Rough. So now I've got 8 chances to get to 40. Just for fun. Try to get some more practice. This doesn't really work. First, because the queen defends that. But also because we don't have really any pieces that can attack that. Right? Can't go here to attack that because the queen might get this one wrong too. It might just actually be bad at the game. Because So we can try to go to the imbalances and like considering every single move, not just the forcing ones, but definitely the forcing ones first. This is pinned. So I don't know. It's just a forcing move. Attack the queen. No checks on us. That's not defended by anything. And then it looks like we could probably take this knight. It might be a simple puzzle there. We attack the queen, get the queen to move away. We capture the knight. Okay, well, I guess it doesn't work because of this. I got 3 wrong in a row. That's a big bummer. I just want to do it fast. I didn't want to calculate, which is the whole point of the video. So I'm just used to doing principles only, like when you play blitz games. So it's just a bad habit, but we're improving. At some point in the future, near future, we're gonna be a lot better. This won't happen anymore. So this is okay. Because like the forcing moves list, we're attacking the queen, but what's more forcing than that? A check. And then yeah, we're just in all sorts of trouble. So we could potentially get our king skewered and lose our queen. Yeah, if we go down, this is mate. Yeah, we've only got 2 moves. Either we lose the queen or we get checkmated. So I can easily calculate that right now. I don't know why I didn't calculate that during the actual game. Probably because I just wanted to do it as fast as I could. But you see what I'm saying? Let's do the analysis. Oh wait, what's actually the best move? We need to find that too. What did I just say something? I forgot. Do I just pin the knight to the rook? Pin the knight to the queen with the rook. It's probably just that simple. Because there's still no checks on us. Of course, yep. Now what is this gonna do? I think we still just take the rook. Or take the knight with the rook, I mean. Okay, that's simple, guys. That's very disappointing. We didn't get to do that. Yeah. Boom. Yep. So here, boom, boom, boom. We're white's up 8 points there. There's mates. If we go up, I think the queen just goes here, right? And it looks like mate and 8. Okay. Same thing as before. They can get our queen. And then if we go down, they take this for check, I would assume. Let's see what this says. Queen capture g5 check. Block with the queen, and we lose a rook. Yeah, so it's very simple to calculate that. I just chose not to. But hopefully we'll still learn some stuff on the earlier puzzles. We got 32 of them done. So we did learn a little bit from those 3 puzzles that were more difficult. So thanks for watching. Consider subscribing and coming back and turning on notifications so you're reminded to come back and make this a consistent habit to solve these puzzles and play rapid games, analyze games. Come along with me on the journey to 1500 ELO, eventually FM title, hopefully 2300 FIDE, but we'll see. Thanks for watching.